We're back in the Barstool office in Chicago. We're not quite live, but it's time for Wake Up Mintzy to resume off the 4th of July break. Hope everybody had a happy 4th of July. I got back from Vegas at like 2 a.m. last night. Got a lot of stuff to get into from that trip, but hope everyone first had a great time celebrating America. Sure seemed like it on social media. Weather was great last week. People were out doing the damn thing all over the country, and I'm just glad to see America out celebrating the 4th. Good to be back in Chicago. I was in Vegas for 9 days, from last Saturday night all the way till, like I said, my flight landed at like 1 or 1:30 a.m. But I'm excited to be back. I'm in a good mood. And there's only one way to start your day, and that's by chugging some Stella Blue coffee. I'm on low sleep, but I'm still ready to wake up and get my mind right. Okay, good. Shout out Stella Blue Coffee. If you hadn't checked out their cold brew yet, it's amazing. My personal favorite is the blueberry flavor. Amazing stuff, though. What's better than hot coffee, cold brew in the summertime? And Big Cat and Stella Blue, just a hell of a product. Look, obviously we're going to support whatever Big Cat does because he's the great American leader that he is. But, man, Stella Blue is an awesome product. If you hadn't had a chance, I highly recommend the cold brew, especially when it's hot outside. As always, Wake Up Mintzy, presented by the fine folks of Dude Wipes. Check out their new Odor Destroyer product. Kills odor. I learned something about Dude Wipes this trip. I brought a whole box with me to Vegas. And I'm now I think packing Dude Wipes is mandatory for every trip from now on. It made my whole life easier out in the hot desert in Vegas when it was 110 outside. It was always great to have some Dude Wipes, keep myself feeling so fresh and so clean. You can find them at Amazon, Target, Walmart, all over the World Wide Web. It's a revolution. They're taking over the toilet paper game. One use of Dude Wipes will change your life. You'll thank me, and you'll never go back. We got Stu Feiner joining us, I believe, here any minute. But going to recap a little bit of Vegas. First of all, shout out to Barstool Nate. He made day 3 of the World Series main. He actually went a different strategy route than I did. He got there and just registered at the beginning of day 2 yesterday. Started with 60,000 chips. He ended with like 104, I believe. He had it over 200 at the last break. But Nate, we're all pulling for you. One man has to save the Barstool main event, and it certainly wasn't me. And it wasn't Smitty, so we're all pulling for you. And Big Cat and Josh Aryeh bought big pieces of Nate. Hope Nate has a hell of a day today. Certainly pulling for him. He's looking fresh. He's looking fit. We're all behind you, the dog. Let's do it. Somebody must represent Barstool well in the main. A lot of stuff to get to from the Vegas trip. First of all, I last Saturday, it's going to be coming out soon. Did film some Rediscovering Chicago with Nick Turaney and KB and Donnie, and appreciate them having me. Went out to I guess what's like a replica, like the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Then we ran a race. The content should be really good. It was really funny. We ran like 100 laps in a row. It wasn't like long, but it just was very, very repetitive. And it was hot as hell, but it was a lot of fun filming with those guys. Then I flew out to Vegas on Saturday night. I ended up playing 4 poker tournaments and 1 satellite. When I got out there, I hopped in the Orleans, had a big $600 tournament. Ended up missing the money in that one by like 25 spots. Barely didn't make day 2. And then on Sunday, I decided to hop in the $400 World Series of Poker Colossus. And look, I've had a lot of good poker momentum this last year going back to November, and I was feeling good going into Vegas. And, man, this Colossus, it was a $400 buy-in with 19,400 people. I repeat, 19,400 people. That's more people than in the Sphere or Madison Square Garden. It was the biggest damn poker tournament I've ever played in. That's freaking crazy. 19,400, and I busted my first 400 bullet, and I put a second bullet in. And then I ended up making a pretty damn big run off my second. I mean, a huge run off my second bullet. It must have been the clean 11 because I doubled up aces to kings at the very beginning of it. And obviously that's, certainly something you can't complain about. But then after that, I really felt good about how I played. I made a big fold of 10s on like an 8-6-2-6 board. And then I just got kind of hot. I ran it up over 300K, and then I lost. I had a bad level or two toward the end of the night. And the big thing for me was I won Queen's Ace King in a coin flip to get to 360K going to day 2, going to 6K, 12K. And I was in the money, but it was big to get that momentum going to day 2. And day 2 was, man, it was a hell of a lot of fun. I mean, I got it rolling. I won a big flip with nines to ace king to get to 600K at the start, and I was kind of just rolling the whole time. And basically, it was just fun. I don't know how to say it. I mean, going deep in a World Series big tournament like that there's really nothing better. And like I said, 366 going 12K day 2, and then the ace king to nines hand, the button raised, I re-raised for the poker terminology. Y'all fire in on the chat anything y'all want to know. I re-raised nines and the button. Dude shoved ace king. I snap called, won 600K flip. And then after that, I got kind of hot. I knocked a guy out ace 10 versus king 10. And then I won a pot with ace queen where I re-raised the guy on the button and then went all in on a 7-high flop. He folded. Won a big pot with kings on a queen 9-3 when a guy had king queen. Kind of lost a little bit with the flip fives versus king queen. And then after that, I made a really good fold. I was proud of myself. I remember somebody went all in for like 400K and I just folded ace queen and he had ace king. I felt like I was dodging the bullets. And then I ran a really good bluff with jack 8 of hearts on like a 4-4-3 king 2 heart board. So I was just semi bluffing the turn. It worked. And then I want to put pop. I flopped a pair of queens with queen jack against queen 10 won, and really was just rolling. I get down to about 500 or 600 people. I'm doing good, and then the blinds just got so freaking high in this tournament. I mean, it was crazy how high the blinds got, because when you get through 19,000 people, 40-minute levels, the structure catches up to you. And then I remember I went to dinner break on day 2. There were 350 people left out of 19,400, and I was down to about 580K at 5,100K, so it's really short. And I was like, oh, man, I'm probably about to bust. And then it was kind of like the sky fell on me, and got lucky. I doubled up with queen 10 against jack 3 when a guy made a super loose call. When I shoved the cutoff, he called the big blind, and it came like ace jack 4 flop, king turn. I turned it straight, turned him dead. And then I went all in with king jack on a steal at 60K, 120K with like 1.3 million. Dude called me with queens. I flopped a jack and turned a jack somehow. All of a sudden, I was up to 3 million. I was like, what the hell is happening here? This is crazy how hot I'm running. And then I lost some back and basically lost a bunch back, got down to 1.4 million. Shoved all in with the 8-5 suited out of the small blind at 80K, 160K, just trying to steal it because the big blind had won a pop all in the last hand, and I thought he'd fold almost anything. He did not fold ace 8, and I've had huge egg on my face. And then this like 5 hits on the river that was like divine intervention. It was like queen jack 8, 3 turn, and this 5 hit the river, and I was like, what the hell is happening? And then I won ace 10 to nines to get to 4.5 million. And all of a sudden, I was like, dude, I got a freaking chance in this tournament. And people were just flying out. We get down to like 95 people, and there's only 2 hands left in the day. In day 2, I'm about to make day 3, and the structure's really shallow at this point. The blinds are up to 300K, and I have 5.3 million. And this kind of middle-aged guy who'd been raising a lot of hands, which is why I played it this way, he opened 700,000. And I shoved 5.3 million with ace queen off, which I thought was super, normal. There's a lot in the middle at that point. And this dude just tanks for 4 minutes. It's like, I don't know if I want to do this or not. I'm like, oh, this dude's got 2 8s, and I'm putting him in a bad decision. He takes for 4 minutes and calls me with queens and knocks me out 93rd for $4,850. And look, no complaints. I should have got knocked out twice already with the 8-5 and the king jack, but cash for almost 5K. Still a hell of an effort. Getting through that many people. And I was proud of that effort. There's no doubt about it. Played a couple more tournaments. We're about to be joined Stu's on here, so we're about to welcome him in here in a second. Cash for almost 5K in that one. I played the Moneymaker main event the next day at the MGM tournament. Nothing too spectacular there. Missed the money by like 30. And that was all I played before the main. And I guess we'll go ahead and be joined. Stu, we got you? We got Stu here? Moody? Maybe. I saw him on the screen. Okay, yes, no, maybe. All right. Well, anyway, the last poker tournament I played, I played the 11. Well, I see Stu saying ready to roll, but I can't hear him in my headset. I can't hear Stu, but I definitely see him and his lovely face.
Hello.
Oh, there he is. All right. Good morning, Stu. Welcome back to Wake Up Mintzy. It's Tuesday. We're back in the office. We're not live. Let's have a hell of a day. How are you?
Feeling amazing, feeling hopeful, feeling positive, feeling blessed. It's an honor. Hello, Ben. Hello, Tyler. Hello, Barstool. Hello, Chicago. Hello, world. Ready to roll. Let's do this. Let's so do this. Oh, by the way, urgent announcement. I don't know if you know it. Life or death announcement. I'm committing to a new revenue stream, cameo.com / Stu Feiner. I've joined the Cameo crew with Frank and everyone else. Scott Hansen joined when he heard I was joined, and John Gruden joined. So I'm bringing a lot of people with me, and we're ready to roll, ready to roll, ready to roll. So life's great. Dog days of baseball. Love baseball. My favorite sport. I could sit there forever. It's the only sport when I'm on offense, you're not scoring on me. I could just relax and focus in on my offensive players and just enjoy life. I love baseball. I simply love baseball. I know you love college baseball. You love pro baseball. You love baseball. Everybody loves baseball. So it's been an amazing summer, year or two of Sandy being home. So we're in the groove there, and we're going to give her all the keys to the kingdom and see if we could save some of the money I make, because you know me, I spend it before I make it.
Hell yeah, I know exactly how that feeling is, because I do the same thing, and that's why we're like kindred spirits. Stu, how was your 4th of July?
Tank came over, Jenks came over. It was amazing. I felt Dad not being there because Dad always liked to like wheel around the wheelchair by the pool and just like rapid fire questions at Tank, because you know Tank, he's willing to do that. You know what I mean? Like if someone's gonna ask him a question, he's gonna answer the question. So, I felt a little void there without Dad, but it was great seeing Frank. You know, he's a super duper star, so I never see him as much as I used to now. You know, traveling all over the world throughout 2 Major League Baseball games so far, throwing out a 30, invited me Cleveland Guardians July 23rd. I think I'm going to go with him for that one because he said I could go with him and hang out on the mound and meet the players and stuff. And the Guardians are big Stu Feiner fans to start with, so I would love to do that. But Tank was there. That was great. Seeing Frank. Seeing Jakes, love Jakes, talking, hanging out, partying, smoking. The food was incredible. Sean cooked, my oldest son Sean, like an animal. Sandy prepared everything. You know, it was like pulled pork, 7-hour, breathtaking pulled pork in a crock, unbelievable. And then we had hamburgers and hot dogs. Tank rated the hot dog a 9.1, which is phenomenal. He rated the cheeseburger. I think it was a hamburger. It was a 8.7. Again,
Damn.
Unbelievable ratings. We had sausage. We had corn on the cob. We had salad. We had pasta salad from A&S Pork Store. It's great. You know, little thin pasta with mozzarella and tomato. Delish. And then we had like a ton of ice creams and ices for dessert. So, you know, my weight was 199.9, Ben. It's amazing. 1 ounce. If a crumb was in my pocket from me eating, falling from my mouth into my chest, into my pocket, I would have broke 200, but I didn't. So, 199.9. Lowest I get down to is like 184. So I'm up like almost 16. Again, I blame it on the Beer Olympics because why not? It's a great excuse to just gain weight, Beer Olympics. But now I got to get it together. September 23rd is Surviving Barstool. September, I think, 3rd is the first Barstool Sports Advisors show. So got to get my food down. I know you ate a little bit, but for some reason, you look great. You're glowing with energy, positivity, sexuality. You know, it's what happens when everybody's on your dick. You know, Ben, it's how it is.
Well, I actually had a weigh-in this morning. I weighed 249.4, which I honestly thought it might be worse because I ate like shit in Vegas all last week and I only ran one day. So it was kind of one of those where it sounds like you were, it's like damage control. I mean, you were happy to be under 200. I was happy to be under 250. I was like the lowest I've been lately was like 245.6, I believe. So
you're right.
Yeah, no, I honestly, Stu, I'll be real honest.
And you have a glow. I had a vagina. You could tear it. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I was actually super encouraged by it, if you want the honest truth. I thought I was going to, I definitely had a bad week. Ate like this fire Japanese barbecue place yesterday you would have loved. But that was mainly meat, so that wasn't too bad. But yeah.
Everybody back from Barstool from vacations? Are they on regular work schedule now?
Yeah, most everybody's back. Most everybody was back in the office yesterday. I didn't get back. My flight didn't land from Vegas till like 1:30 in the morning, so I'm kind of up here. But I'm fired up. I'm excited to be here. I got like a renewed energy. off the Vegas trip. Excited to be back in here. I think Brandon Walker's still at the beach with his family. But I think most everybody else is still here and getting ready. And Nate made day 3 of the main event, so we're pulling hard for him. He's got 104,000. He kind of showed up before day 2, Reg, but it was kind of a funny subplot. But Big Cat bought a piece of me. I got the dog shit kicked out of me in the main. It was ridiculous.
You play cash games afterwards?
I didn't play cash after. I just said screw it and went to dead at the Sphere, which was awesome. The Sphere, by the way, holy crap, Stu. I mean, I know you like going.
Describe the entire thing. See, as you're walking in, it's this giant ball. The only thing I could think of is maybe at Universal might have had something like that, or Epcot, but not as big. A smaller ball that you go in, and it's like Hayden's Planetarium almost, right?
Yeah, so you go in, so it's a uniquely, so if you haven't checked out the Sphere in Vegas yet, it's the most uniquely, so it's the same people that do Madison Square Garden and the Beacon in New York. It's that same group. They got 160,000 speakers in this thing. I've never seen anything like it, and it's designed, it's like...
What is it seat? Sorry to interrupt.
18,000. So,
wow.
it's big.
It's an arena.
Yeah, but it's designed very uniquely where it doesn't feel like an arena. There's like a floor, and then there's like the 200, 300, 400 levels. It's very, very steep. It's like super steep. So they're able to fit 18,000 in there, even though it doesn't feel like it's that big because it goes up a long way and it's steep. But it's like a giant, I guess, screen. The stage is actually super not big. It's kind of there wasn't even any carpet on the stage. It's like more like a really simple stage, and the features, the screens and stuff behind it. But man, the graphics and stuff are the damnedest thing I've ever seen. And like the Dead, I went to Dead and Company on Thursday for the 4th of July, which, look, it might have been one of the best. I mean, it was the best Dead and Company show I've ever seen, and I've seen like 15. Obviously
yes,
it was
ever.
From them. Yeah, it's the U.S. United States. The theme they did like Liberty, U.S. Blues, Jack Straw. They played all their patriotic stuff, but it's more the graphics. They like took you on a journey where it like starts. You're in San Francisco at like Haight-Ashbury, where the Dead started, and they take you on this journey from San Francisco all the way to space, and then you come all the way back to Earth. And it was freaking bananas. And then they had, a lot of the patriotic stuff for the U.S. Blues, and the fact they played like the set list was just crazy. I mean, I can't say enough. Yeah, and everybody that's gone to the Sphere has said that.
Can you eat popcorn? Can you eat popcorn while you watch?
Yeah, you can do that, and it doesn't. I mean, you could feel like the bass.
Waitress service though, right?
No, it's pretty crowded there.
Walking up and down with condiments and stuff with food?
No, they don't have that, but you could go in the concourse. But yeah, they have concessions and stuff. The concourse is a little smaller.
Shirts and stuff, a ton of merch, the whole.
Oh yeah, they had all that.
Beers on a keychain and shit.
Yeah, and then you could feel some of the unique stuff. You could feel the place shaking some, and then you also could the seats would vibrate because of the bass, which I thought was cool. But I just can't recommend it enough, regardless of who your favorite band is. The Sphere, it's, I know there's a lot of hype on it the last few months, but I've never seen anything like it. It almost kind of ruins it for the rest of it.
Yeah, I think we're going November 1st, 2nd, November 8th, 9th to see the Eagles.
Okay, yeah, I saw the Eagles the next, Dead had a big, U2 had a residency, Dead had a residency, Fish did a 4-nighter in April. The Dead one's going into August, and then I know the Eagles are coming behind it, but man, I can't recommend it enough. I had just a freaking blast in there on Thursday. So much fun. I played the main on Saturday, and man, it's one of those things where I'm a super. You're honest with yourself too. We call each other out and stuff. I really don't think I even played that bad. I just had I had 4 or 5 just terrible rivers where my hands got counterfeited, and then my last big hand I ran pocket jacks and they pocket kings, which I didn't feel like I did anything necessarily wrong. I just got the shit kicked out of me. I mean, I don't know how to say it.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah, I did, and I hated it. Big Cat bought 10% of me, and so I felt bad about that because I appreciate his support.
10%, come on.
I know. It was just more I appreciate his support, But anyway, so long story short, I ended up, because I didn't make dinner, I ended up doing Dead at Sphere again Saturday night, and they did Oz the World and Morning Dew. It was just incredible. So all that was super fun. You mentioned your dad. the last Wake Up Mintzy we had was before my dad and sister and I went to, and my brother-in-law went to, we did Rolling Stone Soldier Field the last Thursday in Chicago. And, you know, I know how much you loved your dad. Man, Stu just couldn't have had a more special experience than my dad for 75th going to Rolling Stones at Soldier Field. I mean, he loved it. He was almost, he's not like someone that gets emotional too much, but it just meant so much to him that my sister and I invited him on that for his 75th. And he came up here. He did the whole deal in Chicago. We went to Bavette Steakhouse, had a world-class meal. Got to give my dad a tour of the Barstool office. He met Big Cat, met everybody. It was just, man, it was awesome. I mean, it was just so surreal and full circle and cool. And, you know, he's 75. He's about to turn 75, walks an hour a day, looks good. So, you know, if I don't F this up any more than I already have, you know, hopefully I got some good blood in me. But the Rolling Stones was amazing too at Soldier Field. Just this, man, the Chicago summers. I mean, just you can't beat them. And I'm happy to be back here. The Stone show is just, they played all the hits. I mean, they know what they know the deal. They come out and they give you your money's worth. They tons of energy. Was an awesome time with him. And so, you know, very eventful last couple of weeks, but you know, got to see some great music, got to play poker, saw a lot of people in Vegas, you know, ate some good meals. I mean, what could be better, you know? And so
living the dream. It's living the dream life. If you think about it, you take it for granted because you do it all the time. And it's part of your vocation, and you've been a professional player for whatever going on 20, 25 years. But no one has it better than you, Mintzy. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. And I just want to add about Dad. He had a great smile. Like, what a smile. Like, he lights up a room. And he's a big guy. He's not a small guy. I mean, he's not big compared to football, but I mean, he's big. And his smile lights up the room. So I just wanted to add that.
Hell yeah. But yeah, just awesome time with him and my family. And then also, just like on a personal note, but like, I mean, I was kind of emotional when I got this invite. My sister asked me, I'm picking up a second godson, Stu, my new nephew.
Nice.
And that really meant a ton to me. Yeah, my sister asked me that because you got to imagine she's been through a lot through the years of me being her brother. And so the fact that her and my brother-in-law thought that highly of me made me very excited. So we'll be going to North Carolina for that baptism in a few weeks. Super pumped about that. Obviously, I mentioned the main not going well, but you know what? Nate's still in the main. He came out before day 2. He's got 108K going to day 3. Big Cat bought a big piece of him and really pulling hard for Nate today. He added up over 200K and had a really bad last
the key.
Day 3's the key. Well, it just keeps building and building and building.
Right, exactly. But I'm saying you got to get through today. So let's hope for Nate, and let's hope good luck, gambling gods. Let's go fucking Nate.
Yeah, over 10,000 people in the World Series main. 10,112, biggest one ever. 10 million to first, pays 1,517 people. Live poker still just booming like crazy. And
how many days is it?
Like 8. I mean, it never ends.
8 days.
Yeah, it never ends. I mean, I think 8 or 9.
Okay, so 8 days. So how many days do you have to make it to get paid?
I think it's the beginning of day 4 get paid. So I think today, like you said, today's the day on that front.
Oh, so you cash tomorrow?
Yeah, you catch like early day 4.
8,000 people will be eliminated by tomorrow.
Yeah, and I think it's top 1,517 pay. It's 15,000 for a cash. But really hoping Nate cashes. Look, I like Nate's been so.
What a story too! What a great story! You know, like.
And well, Nate's on the like mind right stuff right now too. He's been working his ass off, lifting weights. He's gotten a lot healthier, eating healthy, and he's doing things right. And so since February, and so you know, I'd love to see that pay off. Time. Yeah, hopefully that pays off. Kind of
sneaky Nate sneaks in, cashes in World Series of Poker. That's all we're rooting for.
Yeah, hell yeah, we're pulling for Nate today on that. But yeah, the poker thing, I'm still super encouraged. Oh man, I'm catching so much shit online. You know how this Twitter deal is. They were just killing me over getting busted early in the main. But I mean, I did really good.
I mean, you have a reputation as a winner, so you were a loser. So
yeah, but I mean, I went.
When you get your dick kicked, you were embarrassing. It was a very poor Mintzy showing. It was very quick.
Oh, it was shit.
Like when you meet a girl and you come at third base. I mean, Mintz, let's be real. You gave us no length. You know, it's not our problem you didn't get the cards. You pulled stuff out your ass. I think your reputation of being a destroyer says it all. You have no conscience, and just, you know, you sucked. That was about it. You really did. So people giving you a hard time online, I think you got to own this one, you know?
Oh, no, I agree. It went horrible. I'm not making excuses.
No, it was as if you never played before.
Well, I don't know. I made a hell of a run in that Colossus, and I feel like everybody just forgets that I beat 20,000 people.
We forgot.
Yeah, exactly. But nobody, that's the way it works, though, Stu. We talk about it all the
time. For me, fuck you. You know what I'm saying? You know, when you're on top, you're supposed to. When you're on the bottom, take shots. People are, no, listen, I'm not saying it's fair. They're, very mean to you. But in this case, you were poor.
Yeah, I was very poor.
I
own that.
It was poor destroyer.
Well, I'm still super encouraged about the poker. I feel like I've been, had momentum going back to November, and we're going to keep it going. Got a few things.
You had a great year.
Yeah,
you made noise.
Yeah, got some more stuff coming up soon. The next few months. We're freaking exactly. We're freaking back. Damn right.
Not this World Series of Poker, which was an epic fail.
Well, I mean, I thought the Colossus wasn't a fail. The main event was a fail. The main event was
listen, Colossus was phenomenal. That negates the main event being an epic fail. I'm only talking main event, which was
main event was a disaster, though. And
disaster.
Yeah, it was just it was.
I just wanted the Destroyer to say it was a disaster. I'm off it now. I love you. I'm an ass kisser. Let's go. You're a great player.
Yeah, no, I played it 9 times. It's only the second time I didn't get out of day one. It's the first time I didn't make dinner. So pretty freaking rough. But we're back here. You said you've been how's the baseball going?
Baseball has been good. Won with the St. Louis Cardinals yesterday, 6-0. You know what I've noticed, because I watch a lot of baseball, and I watch a lot of especially East and West Coast American League, National League. There's a lot of young teams that are very good, even though they suck. They could be 20 games under 500, but that team is fighting every single day. A lot of young teams. Pirates have a lot of bats. Nationals have a lot of bats, even though they're pathetic. They play the Mets a lot. There's a lot of teams with a lot of young stars. And I love baseball because it's the only sport you can relax, when I pick it. I haven't been betting. I don't bet the $10,000, $50,000, $100,000 numbers. I haven't bet numbers. I haven't really bet with, bookmakers, never bet with a legal place, only bet illegal, because I haven't really bet since 95.
Obviously, we love DraftKings up here.
Right, of course, DraftKings. But in other words, but it's just such a great sport to relax. Every other sport, basketball, they can steal the ball, dunk in your fucking face. Football, interception, touchdown. Hockey, steal, score. Baseball, when you're on offense, you're just relaxed. You have to be on offense. When you're on defense, stunks in and out. You want to go 1, 2, 3. But I enjoy baseball. I can watch minor league. I can watch anything. Like, you got me into college baseball.
Yeah, you were watching. You were enjoying it. It's a good product.
It's amazing. Every pitch, I was on the pitch. It was crazy. And they're men. They're not college players. They are full-grown men. They are enormous. And the level is crazy. I would like to see it with a wooden bat, even in college. I guess it's too much money, they said. They said they'd be breaking so many bats, and it would cost gazillion bucks, and that's why they go to the metal. It's not because of more offense, nothing.
Interesting. I always thought it was just more. I like the more offense because it makes the games
right.
wilder.
Simply money. It's money. It's a money thing. But yeah, so I love baseball. So my baseball season has been good, and it's the dog days of baseball. So what we try to do is build a bankroll for preseason football. August 1st is the Hall of Fame game. Then August 8th is the first week of preseason. It's 3 more weeks of preseason, but preseason has become a joke, because they announced that no one's playing and no one, they come in for a series. So basically NFL preseason, this 3rd year in a row, is unwatchable. We used to sell it because I used to get real good information, who's playing, who's not playing. Maybe you have a couple of quarterbacks on the same team that are vying for the same position. Otherwise, you have battles, maybe, oddly enough, in a ton of positions. So, preseason, certain times in years past, has become very exciting. They're trying really hard, even if it's a second or third string offensive line per se, let's say, or defensive line per se. But now it's horrible. So you get your first 3 weeks of preseason football, that Hall of Fame game. Nobody's going to play in the Hall of Fame game either. So, and then you get to college football.
Labor Day.
I think August 24th.
Yeah, they get that week 0.
Right. So you get that week 0, which for us is amazing. Like, week 0 is not a poo-poo. Like, like week 0 for my business, people
are excited. People are pumped.
Write $100 million and pick this. It's it's monster. College football, you don't get many. So that week 0, even though there's, a lot of West Coast games, whatever it is, dog shit, it's big. People bet it big. So I'm looking forward to that tremendously. Pool's been 88. House looks impeccable. I know I was supposed to see you in Mississippi. It's probably not going to happen this year.
Yeah, no, I don't think I'm going to be able to make it. I'm actually going to kick
for that. Thank
no,
you.
I'm kicking it here for the next few weeks too. I did it big for Vegas, and I did.
We're going to do it. It's just not this year.
Yeah, again, no, it ain't going anywhere.
Yeah, me and Vince we were gonna frolic in his 100-acre humble abode home, and we were just gonna hang out, walk 100 acres every day.
Yeah, go check that Kicking on the Lake,
100-acre walk every day. Stu and Mintz. It's gonna be a series. We're selling it to Netflix. Might be Barstool's biggest property ever. Yeah. Could exceed 100 million. Revenue. Best thing surviving Barstool 3. That's all I have to say.
Yeah, I'm excited for
Stu 100 acres.
There you go. Mississippi Delta. No, yeah, I'm not going to make it down for that either. I'm chilling here next 17, 18 days. Excited this week. Windy City Smokeout, huge barbecue and country music festival. Carrie Underwood's headlining, so I'm going to get out there. There's a lot of hype. There's a lot of hype
She's
on
amazing.
that in Chicago. A lot of the barbecue people I do hogs with is Hogs the Cause with are up here. So I'm going to check out that this weekend, and I'm just going to kind of try to, like you're doing it too. We're flushing it. You back on the back on the hell? Yeah. Trying to get back on the health stuff this week.
I haven't eaten lunch yet, but I'm back at least for breakfast. How about?
There you go. Yeah, I hadn't eaten. I skipped breakfast.
I've been up since 2 a.m. Breakfast at 4. Only one meal: bagel with cream cheese. I had a banana. Had my meds. I've had 5 cups of Stella. I'm feeling sweet. So.
Hell yeah. I want to ask about that Mets-Yankees series you were talking about. What's going on? So the Yankees are kind of in free fall mode right now?
The worst team in Major League Baseball. It's the 3rd year in a row it's happened. It's just quite, it's inconceivable it happened again. It's the 3rd year under Brett Boone. They've had epic first halves. Epic. Mind-blowing. 25
best
games
team in
over
baseball.
500.
Yeah.
Best team in baseball, cruising along. Couldn't see a problem coming, and all of a sudden, it's as if a train runs them over unexpected. So they had one of the best pitchers in baseball that filled in for Gerrit Cole. He was like Gil, 9-1, and then he got annihilated 3 straight starts, ERA of 13, so that hurt. And then the injury bug hit like everybody at the same time, and they fell back to like a 2-man team. That was it. It was Judge and Judge and Soto. That was it. So they're in trouble right now. They're like maybe 5-17 or so, 4-16, something like that.
Jesus.
And then the Mets have been very excited because the Mets were dead. Like 13,
yeah, they had the horrible April, but they've been good
13
since.
games under, and then now all of a sudden the entire team is hitting. Lindor's hitting, and
Nemo's having
now. Everybody's hitting. The whole team. They're spraying hits together. Their catch is a monster. They have Vientos. His bat's amazing. Everybody's hitting on the team. Everybody. Alonso. Everyone. McNeil is struggling a little bit, but everybody else is hitting, so it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So that's good for the Mets. They're like 2.5 games out of a wild card, so they're in it all year.
Is Frank happy? Because I know he was.
Frank, if you see his analysis of the Mets after post game, he never curses. He talks very calm. Very interesting because they don't suck no more. You know what I mean? They're a 500 club.
Well, yeah, they've been over 13 over since April.
They had their best offensive month in the history of the franchise in June, and they were the best hitting team in Major League Baseball in June. So
wow,
both numbers were off the charts. Everybody hit a home. They let in everything: homers, RBIs, steals, everything, doubles, triples, singles.
I want to mention, you mentioned young players in baseball. I don't know if you've had a chance to see Paul Skeens pitch yet for the Pirates. He got called up in early May, already made the All-Star team as a rookie, even though he got called up in early May. He was 25-1 to win Rookie of the Year, and now he's like a lock to win it. Obviously, I thought he was the best.
2 point.
Yeah, he was the best. Last year at LSU, I thought he was the best college pitcher in one season I've ever seen.
Oh, you know him, so you're familiar with him. He's from LSU. I didn't know.
Yeah, he was actually Stu. So he actually played. He was a pitcher and an outfielder at Air Force, and transferred to LSU. And then when he got to LSU, they had the former Twins pitching coach was their pitching coach, And they were like, and he was a good hitter, but they were like, you're not hitting anymore. Like, you're going to focus on this. And they refined his mechanics, and he went from throwing 94 to 100 regularly when he got the major league coaching. Yeah,
Amazing.
and then he ended up being the number 1 pick, and now he's already one of the best pitchers in baseball. I mean, he made the All-Star team as a rookie.
People say he's the best pitcher in baseball.
That's crazy.
They say he's inhuman numbers. He's
Yeah,
unhittable. He throws 102.
Yeah, and he hits like not just does he throw 102. You know how pro baseball is. You can throw hard, but you got to hit those locations, and he hits the corners and the knees, and it's just unreal. But if you hadn't got a chance to see Paul Skeens pitch, check it out. I've been following baseball a little bit. We had a big.
I've been against him like 3 times. He's beat me 3 straight times.
Well, I believe it because you always do. Your strategy is always to go against the public.
Everyone's betting him. They're betting him like it's free money, and at the beginning it was. His first 10 starts.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. It's crazy. Are you starting to? So I want to just go ahead and declare this. Wake Up Mintzy. We're about to start previewing football here. I'm going to have some big time football guests on here. We're going to have coaches, gamblers, writers, whatever. I kind of think this is the point where I know this is dog days of summer. I'm already out of the World Series main. I mean, we're still going to cover it. But I'm going to start getting ready for football. SEC Media Days is next week in Dallas. Oklahoma and Texas joining the SEC. A lot of hype on that. But I'm just going to be honest. This is the biggest Ole Miss football season in the history of the school. Number 1. Biggest damn thing ever. Ole Miss is high as number 4 preseason. They're 15-1 to win the title. We got a 12-team. Do you like the 12-team college football playoff? Because I am a big fan of it.
More the merrier. Bring them on. 100-team playoff. Works for me. It's more games to sell. Playoff football, single elimination. How can you beat that? That's wild. Absolutely wild. It's going to go from 4 games now to 12 games. How could you beat that? I love it.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. And I just think that like the way the bowl games have gone with the transfer portal, nobody gives a shit about the bowl games at all anymore. Except for I guess maybe some of the G5 teams care if it's a big deal to them. But I think it's great. College football finally going from 4 to 12. I think if you go, it's going to be interesting. There's a lot of talk on this on Twitter. I mean, if you go 10-2 in the SEC or Big Ten, you're in. I mean, I think with how strong those conferences are, what's going to be interesting is when you have like a real strong 9-3 SEC team up against like a 10-2 ACC or Big 12 team. I think the 9-3 SEC team will probably get in over them. By the strength of schedule, you're guaranteed to have one Group of 5 team in. But, man, I'm just super pumped about this season. And there's a lot of change. First season in the SEC with no Nick Saban since 2007. How Kellen DeBoer do at Bama. When you look at the SEC right now, Georgia and Texas are the favorites. Bama expected to actually lose a few games. Ole Miss right behind them. I actually had a talk with one of my LSU sports radio friends. It's the first time Ole Miss has been picked ahead of LSU and Alabama, I think, in my entire life. This year. Yeah, it's this year. So we'll see how the Rebels deal with the hype. But, man, just can't wait for the season. And we got a New Orleans Super Bowl coming up, too. Which
you
will
and
be
me are going. We're going.
Oh, yeah.
You and me.
Not missing the NOLA Super Bowl. But I
know
it's mid-July.
I'm just tagging along filming, motherfucker.
Oh, we're going to do it huge. This is kind of one of those things where usually the football preview stuff starts in August, but we're going to go ahead and get it going now. I mean, mid-July. Like I said, the media days always gets a little kick to it, but I'm just excited, and I'm actually going to, I'm starting my research. I'm going to try to flex on this football season and do what is it? Luck is where preparation meets opportunity. So I'm trying to study all these rosters. It's so hard. So, hey, I got to ask you this about handicap in college these days. I mean, it's so hard because the transfer portal, like it's just so hard to keep track of who's where. Just handicap.
For me, I'll be unfazed because for me, again, my system is my system. Against the grain, against the public, reverse line moves. A number 16 team being favored in a number 8 team. Systems that will work. So with me, for me, there's so much flux in college football. Everything's in flux. Also, so many changes. Everything from 12-man playoffs going forward, conferences being annihilated and rebuilt. It's amazing. But as far as handicapping, for me, it means absolutely nothing because my numbers are going to be my numbers anyway. Team A is playing Team B. I don't care if they just got there or they've been there for 20 years. It's already built into the number. It's already built into the line. It's why I have a paywall. It's why I win more than anyone else. It's why I'm worth paying for because my system is a system that's won for 43 years. So I'm excited. I'm so excited. There's a lot more games that are going to matter and a lot new opportunities, new matchups. It's going to be fresh. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. And does college football go anywhere different streaming this year or just the same as
Well, the
ABC?
SEC is no longer on CBS, which is a big thing.
Right.
That SEC
But-
CBS thing was, I think it's Big 12.
That's dead. So, but they have their own channels.
Yeah,
Everything
they're doing
goes
all
on
ESPN. They're doing all ESPN and ABC, I believe. So that'll be a little different. But it's really the Oklahoma and Texas and the SEC thing is just fascinating. And I've got a hot take that people have kind of been talking about. I think Oklahoma I'll just go ahead and say it right now. Oklahoma is the team that's going to struggle with the welcome to the SEC this year. They're over under 7.5 wins. They got a really young offensive line. The transfer portal hit them hard. I have a lot of questions about their defense. They got a young 5-star quarterback in Jackson Arnold, but I think they're going to have some big, big trouble going on the road in the SEC. They got to go to Ole Miss, to LSU, to Auburn. They get Tennessee and Bama at home. I mean, I kind of feel like they're the team where I actually think Oklahoma, my hot take is Oklahoma wins 6 or 7 games this year. I think it's going to be really.
Oklahoma bet against them.
Yeah, I just don't think, like, everybody's like saying, oh, how's Texas going to do? But Texas is made to live in this NIL world because they got unlimited money. And so I think Texas is going to adjust better. And they made the playoffs last year. The thing with Texas, they fixed their offensive line finally the last couple of years, and that'd been kind of what had been holding them back. And so I don't know if they're going to, maybe they go 10-2, something like that. They may drop some, but Oklahoma's the one that's going to have the welcome to the SEC.
Defense, you're saying, is going to get torched.
Yeah, and I just think they're young. The quarterback's talented, but they're just young. And they struggled. Last year they lost 3 games. They lost at Kansas, lost a few road. They lost at Oklahoma State and at Bedlam. I think they're going to struggle on the road in the SEC in those environments, being young. I think that's kind of one of my takes. And the other take, I've got, the preseason top 10s are out. Look, I know Michigan won the national championship last year, and they were awesome, and they deserved it. Their defense was elite. They were the best team. I'm not going to sit here and argue it. They're facing almost a rebuild. They got a new coach. They lost their defensive coordinator. They lost their quarterback, J.J. McCarthy. They lost a ton off their team. They're top 10 preseason, but I wouldn't be shocked if you're looking at like an 8-4 or 9-3 season. Man, I guess that's not a rebuild. I just think I don't see them being a playoff team. They lost everything, including their coaching staff, first-round quarterback, a ton of stuff. So I think they may be like more of their name than their actual team. But, when you look at college football, Georgia ranked really high for obvious reasons. Carson back. Georgia's got to go.
Who's won?
Ohio State and Georgia are both kind of won in some of them. The Georgia thing, though, Georgia's got to go to Bama, to Texas, and to Ole Miss. That is a murder road schedule. So I don't know if they're going to be able to get through all that unscathed. But, I don't think they have to win all. That's the thing with the playoff. The margin for error is a little different now. You go 10-2 in the SEC, you're going to make the playoffs. So you can drop one. It's not necessarily the end of the world. There's a lot of questions on the Bama thing. I think Kalen DeBoer is an awesome coach. Look what he did at Washington, getting to the national championship. But he's not from the South. So, how is he going to adjust to the SEC and stuff? And he runs a pro-style offense. And Milroe, that quarterback's more of a runner. And he's got a big arm, but he's not like a pro-style quarterback. So I'm curious, is this going to be like a square peg, round hole thing with his skill set in that offense? We'll see. But I'm curious to see how Bama fans will react. Brandon Walker had a video talking about Bama losing 3 or 4 games and how much their fan base is going to melt down if that happens. But I'm very curious. The whole SEC is just breathing a sigh of relief that no Nick Saban. And one of the biggest SEC stories is like Napier at Florida, probably going to be gone after this year. They're number 67 in recruiting for next year. What's going on with the Florida Gators program with all the tradition and power they have? But they, their over-under is like 5 wins this year, which is crazy to see out of Florida. So I feel like he may be on the hottest seat.
How many games is that? 12 games?
12-game schedule. But they've got their last 5 games are all against preseason top 15 teams. So because they play Florida State non-conference, and then they've got like Ole Miss and Georgia and all these just murder games toward the end. So we'll see on that front. But I'm just excited to be talking about football. Like I said, we're the week 0, late August. I know that, like you said, the NFL preseason may not mean as much as it used to, but at least we got the 17 games. What do you think of the NFL? There's a lot of debate. Shout out to Pardon My Take.
18. I like going to 18. I like stretching it to President's Day, having off, and I like it stretching that Sunday before President's Day Super Bowl.
I like that too. I wish
buys.
That's what I was going to say. 2 buys.
2 buys.
2 buys, and I wish that like they do the Thursday night thing where one of your buys is before a Thursday night game, to where if they could make it work, because there's so much complaints about the teams having to turn around and play Sunday and then Thursday.
Right. Everybody should come in with 10 days.
Yeah, exactly. And then you keep the Thursday night thing, but give them a full break. But Joe Burrow talked about it on Part of My Take. Shout out Part of My Take for getting Joe Burrow. Part of My Take rules. That's not exactly.
It's a monster get.
I was gonna. And on that front, I'm bullish on the Bengals this year. I'm curious what you think. They're like 50.
Burrow healthy, they can win the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
no one stopped them besides himself.
Yeah, they're like 15-1.
That game went right down to the wire.
They're the only team that's proven they can beat KC in big games. They won at.
Burrow can, yeah.
Yeah, they won at Arrowhead in the AFC Championship. They barely lost the next year. I feel like people are kind of sleeping on them a little bit. And I know this is like a weird thing, and it probably doesn't matter, but this Super Bowl being in New Orleans, it's 5 years since Burrow and Chase won the national championship in NOLA for LSU. I feel like that would be a wild story if it was 5 years later and they made it back. But, I mean, one of these years, the Chiefs – one of these years, the Chiefs have won 3 or 4, and I'm not, I'm a huge Mahomes fan, but I feel like they can't win it every year. I mean, I don't know.
That's true. How are you going to beat him? I mean, if Mahomes has the ball in his hand, he's going to, Andy Reid, you can't beat that team. They're better this year than they were last year.
Well, I'm curious.
Offensively.
Yeah, they definitely are going to be better offensively because they finally, I feel like they're.
They don't lose anything defensively. They got the one big player. That's it. He runs the whole fucking defense.
Yeah, they lost Snead. The only thing they lost their top top corner, L'Jarius Snead, but they still got some other young guys. They're good on defense. But I'm curious. I don't know. I'm just big on the Bengals this year going into it. I kind of think they're one of the teams.
I like anybody but Kansas City. Anybody.
I'm curious too. How do you think Jim Harbaugh is going to do for the Chargers? Because I really like that hire.
How much worse can he be? He's walking into the best fucking spot ever. He has years to get it going. I mean, of course, they want to win in their first year, but he's such a disciplinarian that, he's pretty – I think he's made for the pros. He's done great in the pros. He had the 49ers, right? He's the 49ers head coach. Almost went to the Super Bowl. I mean,
Did go. Lost to his brother.
Goal line stance by fucking Ray Lewis in his fucking walk-off game to fucking it took every fucking play. I mean, their running back got caught to set up the 1st and goal. I thought he was gone. He got shoestring tackled. That was the game. So I think Harbaugh's going to do fucking great. I mean, he walks in as the top 5 NFL head coach. He's that smart. And, he won in Michigan. All he had to do was win the one. He did. He walks off in a fucking, as a god after being a buffoon for 4 years. You know what I mean? Like, he was horrific.
No, it was a lot of bad years, and then he finally couldn't beat Urban Meyer, but then he beat Ryan Day 3 years in a row, won the Big Ten 3 years in a row, and then obviously getting over the hump, beating Bama in the Rose Bowl and crushing Washington. But I really like him because I look at the Chargers, and their coaching staff's really held them back the last few years. I mean, Staley was crap, Anthony Lynn was crap, and he brought his defensive coordinator, Zenter from Michigan, who's elite. The Chargers over-unders 8.5 wins. That was one of the overs I was looking at. I just think, I'm not saying they're going to come in and win 12 games, but I think, 9-8 or 10-7 in a wild card, I think are very possible in year one when he's got a quarterback like Joe.
They have a lot of talent. The team's always had a lot of talent.
Yeah, no doubt. It's weird. Eckler went to the Commanders. Keenan Allen's a Bear. Like, the receiving core is a little beat up, but they took a first-round offensive tackle.
The receivers, they could use some new receivers.
Yeah, that's kind of the one spot they're a little weaker. But I was kind of looking at the Chargers as one of my, kind of sleeper teams. But I'm getting the research going. I'm stoked for football. So rest of the summer, you're enjoying the 88-degree pool. You're getting ready for surviving Barstool, getting ready for football. Check out the paywall. Yeah, baseball picks every day, right?
Every day.
Hell yeah.
At StuFeiner.com and then Cameo.com/Stu Feiner for the new cameos I'm doing with them. And
so you switched your shout outs. You switched your shout outs from
my diving shout outs and my running shout outs and any animation shout outs is still at BeLikeStu.com. But all the other cameos, the birthdays, the anniversaries, the fantasy football, half the money because I'm only charging $75. I used to charge $1.25, $1.50 on StuFeiner.com. I'm going to do volume here, so I cut the price in half. And, I'm acceptable to the world now. Cameo.com /Stu Feiner in your fucking face. I'm the best at it. I invented it. Like, Cameo's been around since like 2017. I've been doing these since 2007. I was around 10 years before Cameo. I should have started with Cameo from day one. Probably would have cost myself like maybe between, I don't want to think about it, $5 and $10 million I'm going to throw up. But I think it's a good earner, so thank God.
Yeah, I'm on Cameo as well. What's fun this time of year, Stu, you'll probably get some of these requests too. People love us doing the fantasy football draft orders in August. That's a huge seller. And I've already done a few, but anybody wants me or Stu to do your fantasy football draft order, just request us on Cameo. We're happy to do it. We'll turn up some energy. We'll get fired up. And I'm looking forward to, also with DraftKings, they've got the daily fantasy as well as your sports gambling. I'm looking forward to doing some of the daily fantasy stuff with DraftKings this year. It's kind of morphed to where it's more you do, like you pick a lineup for the week and playing big tournaments as opposed to the season-long thing. And so, maybe we got some stuff in the works on that front that could be coming too. We're thrilled.
You probably could be good at that because you have big knowledge and you know a lot of players, so it spreads. That should help you in that. You should do well.
Yeah, DK partner. Looking forward to checking that out. We freaking love DraftKings at Barstool. Love our partnership. And right now, I guess Wimbledon going on. Golf, you got the Scottish Opens this weekend. The Open Championships going on. This is the dog days, though. There's no getting around it. That's why they do the World Series main during this time. This is the little bit
flatter than flat.
I actually have a theory that the NBA should start Christmas Day instead of October and run into early August. I think the NBA is messing up because nobody gives a shit about the NBA in October and November during football season. Literally, it feels like preseason, even though the games count. Like, I think they should start Christmas Day and then have the finals in early to mid-August, and then that would give us something in July and early August to carry.
Love that.
I don't know. I feel like they're messing up there. I think
NBA is bigger than life right now. It could go.
You think so?
It's amazing. I love NBA.
Do you? Okay.
I love it. Oh my God! There's 10 great teams. There's, again, so many young players. Key to an organization like, an NFL or NBA, they have so many great young players.
Well, I think that would be cool. I kind of mentioned a lot how much I'm becoming more and more in love with the hockey playoffs each year, and so I'm getting to the point where I'm watching more NHL playoffs than NBA. My NBA loyalty still will always be in New Orleans, and I watch all the Pelicans games, but I'm kind of like not as into it. Other than that, but
well, they suck.
49-33 ain't all that bad. I guess when like in a prism, I mean, I don't know if you can keep Zion healthy. We'll see. They got Deontay Murray now. I'm excited about that.
That's got to help big.
Hell
That's
yeah.
a big pickup.
Hell yeah. So next few weeks, just doing the health grind, getting ready for football, doing the pool. Anything else coming up?
No, that's basically it. It's just a grind, just going through everything, begging my wife for sex every day. If you ask every day on the hour, eventually you just grind them down. That's what happens.
Yeah, you beating their will down, huh? That's fun.
Yes. And then how's your girl on your end? Good?
We're doing pretty good.
Yeah,
pretty good. Yeah,
it's like any other, like when, something, you're so big right now that you probably have to stay single because there's so much vagina available to you.
I wouldn't say that.
How can you actually say no? Even if you got to go for some 6s and 7s that are around, 170 to 200 pounds, whatever. Why not?
Times have been worse for sure. I've definitely dealt with worse times on that front. I'm very, very happy these days. But yeah, so life's good. I'm here the next 17, 18 days before my North Carolina trip. Want to just enjoy Chicago summertime. Getting back on the eating healthy and exercising.
Just happened? What just happened? You swallow a dick? What was that?
I got a Lucy in and the Lucy nicotine pouch in, and it just kind of got me. Got
okay.
Coffee flavor. Hey, shout out Lucy.
How is Lucy? Is it good?
They're great. They're big. They're big.
Fire you up like a double espresso type hit, or how?
A little bit. What it does more is it's like balanced, and like I was never a big smoker, but I would hit the nicotine pen like I guess every now and then, and I like doing the pouches way more. I can tell it's healthier. Okay. I can tell it's way healthier, and it doesn't affect my lungs. So I'm a fan. I'm definitely a fan. There's Lucy's all over the office. We appreciate their support at Barstool.
When's the last time you ran?
I ran on Friday, so I ran a 5K on Friday in Vegas, but inside.
3.1.
Yeah, inside. But we're gonna really crank that back up. The thing I haven't done though, I gotta get the lifting weights going back. I'm getting too doughy, so we're gonna lift.
I just got to stop eating. Look, the bicep looks great.
Yeah, no, Vegas. I'm a believer. Oh, nice.
Looks good, that bar, right?
Yeah. I got the tanks out.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, the Vegas food thing, I love all the good off-strip spots. There's like tons of good Asian food, and I definitely overdid it, as you and me want to do. But you know what? You said it good. I was texting you last night. You're like, flush it all, get back on it. We're back on the horse.
Right now.
You know, yeah, and then we had the second episode of the Mintzy Madison came out last night. Check that out if you hadn't.
Very funny. I watched it with the flute.
Yeah, Tate teaching me how to play the recorder. That was fun.
That was great.
I got a second grade test coming up soon, but check that series out. Shout out to Tate and Luke. Shout out to Lucas too, our producer. He does a damn good job. Enjoying that, and
it's a funny piece, and I like that you show how incompetent you actually are, and you just don't care. So I'm amazed.
We're gonna keep it rolling, but that's kind of but yeah, good to be back in Chicago. I also saw Theo Vaughn comedy show on Friday night when I was in Vegas at the Palms. He's hilarious. If you hadn't got to check him out, the thing that impressed me the most about Theo is gotten super famous. He's good friends with Caleb Presley and Glennie at Barstool. Man, I don't know how you could do it. You've dipped your toes in the stand-up world. I kind of have a little bit recently too. He went for like an hour and a half, Stu. How do you do stand-up comedy?
Set.
Yeah, how do you do?
He's a pro. He can tell a story.
Yeah, that's just incredible to me. Like, I feel like you start out and you're doing like 10, 15 minutes, but man, to do an hour and a half, I was so impressed.
Well, you would have to have like a couple of 20-minute stories with a very big ending that is going to work, that's going to kill people. So that's how you stretch time. He didn't tell hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of jokes rapid fire like a Benny Youngman or something, a Henny Youngman, I should say. You know what I mean? Like, so that's how they do it. But he's a great storyteller. He's fucking crazy good.
Yeah, I was
very likable. Very likable.
I've got a couple. I've got 2 different stand-up routines that have hit me recently too that I'm working on. So I'm hoping to get back and do a little more. I'm hoping. Been talking with the Barstool guys. I hope to get to do it again, the Laugh Factory soon, because kind of enjoying it. I know you've done it a little bit too. That stand-up world's totally different, but I don't know. It's fun. And like I said, I've got 2 new routines I'm working on. There could be one coming together in the South soon too. So, just got to keep doing it.
You'll be great. You're great. You'll be great. You're young enough to do it. You'll be great. I did like 8 of them. I was grade 7 and bombed 1. So, I mean, those are great odds. 88% winning.
88. There you go.
Fail. So, whatever.
Hell yeah.
I heard people breathing in the audience. I heard a pin drop. I heard people farting. I heard people whispering, "Let's get out of here." Like that's when you bomb.
Fair enough. Well, Stu,
I heard like 3 or 4 people go, "Oh, you want to go to the bathroom now?" Like people were like, "Can we get out of here?"
How could anybody ever disrespect the source Stu Feiner like that? Shameful.
It was bad material.
Shameful. Well, Stu, always love having you on Wake Up Mintzy on Tuesday.
I love the mellow pace. It wasn't like anything that was like, "Wow, did you hear what Mintzy and Stu said?" It was a culmination of love, kindred spirit. You know what I'm saying? It was like Moody just in the background flowing. I think it was fabulous. I had a great time being on.
Hell really yeah. Did.
I hope I brought it. I love you.
Stu, you always bring it.
I didn't curse. I didn't scream a lot, but I love you.
I love you too, Stu.
You gotta go poo poo and pee pee. So
if you gotta go poo poo, go get your. I gotta send you some dude wipes.
Send you some dude wipes. Love you, Ben. Love you, Barstool. Love you, everybody. Ready to roll. Ready to roll. Ready to roll.
We're going to be getting this football season starting to get ready to roll.
Let's go!
I'll Wake Up Mintzy. Got some big
Jets win the Super Bowl. Jets win the Super Bowl. Jets win the Super Bowl.
I don't know.
Jets Lions. Triple overtime. Aaron Rodgers from the 3 runs it in.
That would be fun. That would be a hell of a lot of fun in New Orleans. Thanks to Stu for joining us this morning on Wake Up Mintzy. Also, shout out, thanks to Dude Wipes and Stella Blue for sponsoring us always. And Tyler Moody holding the fort down in Louisiana. Like I said, huge time in Vegas. Ready to get back after it. Great to be here in Chicago in summer. Looking forward to the Windy City Smokeout this weekend. And, just kind of got a renewed energy, Ready to get after it. Ready to start getting ready for football. All good things here. Good luck to Nate in the World Series main day 3 today. Somebody's got to cash for Barstool and carry the damn torch, and it sure as hell was not me. We'll be back tomorrow. Let's have a hell of a week, boys. We're recharged from the 4th of July. Let's go. Let's do it. Thanks for waking up and getting your mind right with me.